Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Josh here with Work Save Bitcoin, the channel where we talk about protecting your time and energy by saving in Bitcoin no matter your budget. So today I just wanted to respond to a comment on the video about the 2008 financial crisis and just give some of my thoughts. And I want to preface by saying I'm open to having debates, and I just wanted to respond to this. So they said, you're conflating private banks with the government treasury. I don't believe that I was. It was the U.S. government that bailed out private banks. I don't know if I was mistaken on that, but tell me if I'm wrong. And then they said it's the marriage of these two that have royally effed us. I do agree with these. With this point, I don't think the government and private banks should be tied together, and I don't think the government should have the power to bail out corporations who are bad faith actors. And they said going back to the gold standard is idiotic because bailouts in themselves are not inherently detrimental. They're actually essential for government to function. 2008 was not essential. There's a lot to unpack in that one. I don't think anyone ever suggested going back to a gold standard. I think it's more just a thought exercise to think about what it was like to have a currency that was backed by something other than thin air. I don't think any Bitcoiner is suggesting that we go back to a gold standard. And then they said bailouts are not inherently detrimental. They're actually essential for government to function. I mean, maybe in the government in its current form, but the government should be something that serves the people and uses taxpayer money to provide services and benefits to citizens that pay taxes. I don't think we should just lay down and take it that bailouts should be able to happen and governments should be able to bail out corporations that act in bad faith. I don't think that is a given. And I think if we go to a more fair system like Bitcoin, it would have corporations have to act more in line because they know there's no safety net of governments printing billions of dollars to just bail them out. I think there would be a lot less corporate greed and bad faith acting. Then they go on to say, but decentralization, first of all, Bitcoin is not decentralized now like it was in its conception. Now it's owned by the biggest players, and the very nature of Bitcoin, your money will become less and less valuable as the biggest players with the most money to buy the best mining equipment continue to funnel money to themselves. I mean, that is just not true. The Bitcoin network is decentralized. You might be referring to Bitcoin ownership not being fully distributed evenly to everyone, but early adopters are always going to have an advantage in any system. But I think the point you're missing is that anyone can still participate in the Bitcoin network in whatever capacity they are able to and want to. There's no, by institutions buying large amounts of Bitcoin, that doesn't stop anyone else from participating. And by buying the best mining equipment, they're actually strengthening the Bitcoin network. They are adding security by adding more mining, more validation, increasing the hash rate. So they're not funneling money to themselves. They are strengthening and adding value to the network as a whole. And that network is still, like I said, something that anyone can participate in. So I don't think this is really a valid argument. If you're arguing there's too many whales, I think that's a different topic, but I don't think that's a bad thing either. Just because the ownership isn't evenly distributed, I don't think that has anything to do with the decentralization of the network. The network still needs full consensus, so anyone can run a node on their own computer and validate transactions and strengthen the Bitcoin network themselves. So if you think Bitcoin is not decentralized enough, then you're free to run your own node. And then at the end, they go on to say this whole thing is such a scam, but you refuse to see it because you're heavily invested. Well, first of all, I am not promoting Bitcoin and I'm not passionate about Bitcoin education because I'm heavily invested. I'm heavily invested because I'm convicted and because I see the good that this technology can do for the world and its benefits. I think just calling it a scam is really disingenuous to the feat of engineering and technology that this is, and all the advancements in cryptography and how it combines all these different cryptographic methods into something that really works, and something that went from a fair launch to at $0 to a $2 trillion asset that has the potential to become way more than $2 trillion asset. I think you are missing a lot of information here. So once again, I'm fine with debates, but I think some of these points are a little disingenuous. But let me know what you think below, and if you enjoy this type of content, as always, leave a like and subscribe. It helps out a bunch. And as always, together, let's work, save, and build a brighter future with Bitcoin. See you in the next video.